Hi, my name is Sandra Wilson and I work a lot with a condition called misophonia, and if you are aware of it then you will be very acquainted with how it feels. So when I tell people this, I'm often met with quite a blank stare and they say, well, what on earth is that? So I explain. It's a condition where people, adults and children, experience extreme emotional reactions, which are predominantly anger and maybe disgust, toward common everyday noises. So is that actually a thing? Well, yes. So do you mean noisy neighbours or loud traffic? And it's true to say that we can all get really annoyed and angry by loud noises in the environment from time to time, but misophonia is a little different to that, and what makes it different is the extremes of emotion that you feel toward normal everyday sound rather than just loud inconsiderate noise in the environment. So, and I've completed a little bit of research into this condition, and after working successfully with people with it too, it simply piqued my interest, and sufferers really are suffering. There's a lot of pain and I just don't think it gets taken seriously. So what is it? How does it happen? Is it a brain malfunction? Is it a sensory issue? Is it an anxiety issue? Does it relate to trauma that's not been processed, or a condition like autism or ADHD? And the truth is that there's not been a huge amount of in-depth research about it. I'm a qualified clinical hypnotherapist, and based on my own small-scale studies and from what my clients have told me, it's possibly to do with the way the brain assesses risk and threat. So some of us may be more susceptible to having misophonia, and we all have a mechanism in our brains that scans the environment for risk and threat, and it's called the amygdala. So for whatever reason, your amygdala might be assessing a certain sound, in this case the trigger. Let's say, for example, it's the sound of your mother eating or your partner breathing or snoring as being a threat. So without going into any complicated neuroscience, your body then very quickly becomes prepared for fight or flight. And that is the basis of those horrible, overwhelming feelings: rage, disgust, wanting to run away quickly and avoid situations where you're going to be exposed to the trigger. And I'm convinced that the amygdala can be trained to reassess the threat. And this does not have to involve deliberate exposure to the trigger. And I've seen it happen in my own practice. I'm not suggesting that it's a magic cure, but I'm just suggesting that sometimes once we start to get the nervous system on board, it can be quite surprising how we can reduce the reactivity to these trigger noises in some people. And we are all capable of far more than we believe. And we all, we hold these beliefs about what we can and can't do, about what is possible. And sometimes, like I said, it's depending on how you approach this issue, maybe you too could find just a way of living your life with a little bit more control, a little bit more calm, and just to be able to spend time with the people you love when the triggers are not quite so emotionally heightened. So I'm going to be making more videos about misophonia. If you want to have a look at the playlist I created over on YouTube, if you're on YouTube you will see that playlist. Quite a few videos there, but the next lot of videos I'm going to be producing are going to be a bit different based on the experiences I've had with clients, the successes I've had, and I hope that you'll find this channel informative and useful. Bye for now.